The intention of this video is to get you introduced into using MATLAB. So we'll initially use the functions of the screen that you can see, so the command window, workspace, and also the current folder. For now, just think of MATLAB as a big calculator. So let's just start off by defining some parameters. So A is equal to 1, B is equal to 3, and C is equal to A. C is equal to A multiply user star multiply by B. Okay. So what you'll see is obviously that you get your answer. So C is equal to 3. Okay, so say for example we wanted to clear the command windows where we're currently writing, the command to use is CLC. What you'll notice if you look at the workspace is you'll notice that your parameters are being defined in here. So for A, B and C, where C was the result of A multiplied by B. I can also clear the workspace by just using the command clear. Okay, so what I'm now going to open up is new script, and this is effectively an editor, and the editor enables you to effectively write as we've just done. So A is equal to 1, B is equal to 3, and C is equal to A multiplied by B. Okay, before I run that though, what I'm going to do is make sure that my file, when I do save it, is going to be saved into the correct folder. So a good habit to get into is when you're looking at the current folder is to create a folder whereby you want your files to be saved. So I'm going to go desktop, intro to MATLAB, and then just click select folder. Okay, then if I go back to my file that I just created, I'm now going to save it in there. So save as. That'll take me straight to that file. So you see intro to MATLAB, and I'm just call that intro MATLAB. Okay, now if I click run, okay, what you'll notice is you got exactly the same as what we got before. So A is equal to 1, B 3, C 3, and you'll notice the result also, well, the parameters and the result of A multiplied by B also appears in the workspace. Say for example, I wanted to, as I did before, clear the command window, so CLC, and also clear the workspace. I can do so in here. Okay, so that'll, every time I click run here, so run is effectively running this script, it'll clear my previous calculations. Okay, so that's for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to now introduce some vectors, so 1, 2, and 3. So in there, and then 5, just some random numbers. I'm going to get rid of that. Now what I'm going to do is do plot A against B, and then click run. And you'll notice that's your graphical output there, A versus B, and here you'll notice here your two vectors appear here. Say for example, we didn't want them to appear every time if we get to, for example, doing a large script, you don't want those parameters every parameter to appear in the command window, so we use semicolon afterwards. So if I rerun that graph again, you'll see now, obviously, because I put CLC and clear, it's cleared the command window, cleared the workspace. However, you'll see now that the vectors for A and B don't appear in the command window, and they only appear in the workspace. Okay, so that's effectively what the semicolon does. Okay, so what you would have noticed from your graphical output is that it doesn't have any kind of X and Y labels. So that's what we're going to add now. So the first command, set GCA, font size, and beware, font capital F and size capital S, font size 30. So if you write that out, that'll set the font size to 30 in the graphical output. Now I'm going to put a label to the X, and I'm going to call it time, and I'm going to set seconds. So obviously at the moment this isn't really related to any system, but it's fine. So again, Y label, amplitude. Okay, and then I'm just going to put a grid on, because then I'll put a grid on the graph. Okay, so I think that's So we'll click run again. There you'll see now I've got amplitude and time on the graph. Now we'll just maximize that. What you might want to do when you come to do your report is obviously apply this graph in your report. So a good way to do this is go edit, copy figure, and what that'll do is it'll copy the figure without the grey background that doesn't look so pretty in your report. Okay, so another thing I'm going to talk about is sections. So you can break up your document into sections as I'm doing here. So now you can see they're in different sections. So for example, if I wanted to clear the command window in workspace, I can do so by just highlighting that and clicking run section, and you can see obviously it clears it. Then I go run section here, and then obviously it then runs what A and B are, and then run section here, and then I get the graphical output. What you might want to do is you can put labels to these, so anything where you've got two percentage signs or even one, MATLAB won't read anything to the right of it. So for example here I could put here and then put time, data, here, amplitude, so just getting used to kind of documenting your MATLAB script. Ooh, amplitude, okay, and then here, graphical, just put a capital G on that, graphical output. Okay, so that's running sections, and I think that's pretty much what I wanted to show you. One thing just to be aware of, the editor here doesn't always appear in a separate tab. Sometimes it appears here when you create a new editor. Okay, this is just how I've got it set up because I tend to use two different screens. So I hope that's been useful.